Alrighty, so we're utilizing PokerTracker 4 for this, but if you're a Hold'em Manager 2 user, it works basically the same. You can pull up your various sessions, look at them one by one, and go through the hands within that session. So normally what you'll see me using is the position grouping by position in the statistics tab. This is just what gives me the most useful information for most of my study sessions, right? If I want to look at all cutoff hands, if I want to look at stealing in the big blind, if I want to look at my EP, hands that I choose to open raise with, this is where I do it. But sometimes I'm going to go through and utilize the table session group by feature. Now, what this does is it just breaks up into each of your sessions. So you can see on the different dates right here, the length of the session, the site, the stake, the number of hands played, the percentage of hands won, all this various stuff. And this is all, I guess you can customize it. Right click, go to configure, and then you can add the various stats to the report, whatever you want. But this is how I like to look at it right here. Oh, once I hit configure, it'll reset, I guess. Okay, good. So we've got this table pulled up. When you click on any given table, down here will pop up all the hands that you played in that table. Now, as soon as you open it, it's in order of date right here. So we'll go back to this one. If we right click and hit replay all hands in the report, 9-5 offsuit was the last hand that I played on this table, right? 854, 53, 852. It just goes in order from the latest hand to the earliest hand. So, 9-5 offsuit, as soon as I hit replay, that's the first hand we see. Go to the next hand, pocket nines are the next hand, as you can see right here. But what I like to do when I review the session is I like to start at the very beginning so I can see what it was like when I first got to the table, when I was dealt that very first hand, which players are on my right and my left, the table dynamics, all that stuff. So what you do is you click it to sort. Now 834, 35, 37, in order from top down is the earliest to the latest. So just right click, hit replay all hands. You can see that very first hand is the ace-10 suited, then 8-4 off, 8-4 off, then 8-4, 8-4 off again, twice in a row. Good. So now that we have it sorted how we want to see it, I'll whip out this Excel spreadsheet. Now, this is something I created for you guys right here. I have a few different questions regarding the table, pre-flop questions I think about, flop, turn, and river questions as well. Now, the questions I'm thinking about they kind of depend on the situations I'm presented with on the table as I play. This isn't a form that I always use as I go through tables, not at all. It's just something to kind of keep us on track here and give us some stuff definitely to talk about. So when you sit down to a table, you want to think, first off, who are the two players to my left and right? What player types are they? Now, brand new player, don't know anything about him. First to my left, he's just basically an unknown. So I'm going to treat him like your average player at the stakes. And your average player at 25 NL on Carbon, which is what I'm on the Merge network, they are often more on the passive side. They can be pretty aggressive, but they do like to do a lot of calls. They're passive post-flop, especially on the flop and turn. So that's kind of what I'm going to think of him right now. But as the hands go on, we might have a different understanding of this villain. And if you think about it too, he has less than a full stack. Oftentimes when players do not auto top off, they're not regs, they're just kind of playing for fun, maybe to earn some money, and they don't mind short stacking, which this guy has less than 100 big blinds. Now, the next one to our left, we've got a tight aggressive player here. That's what the yellow means. You can see how I highlighted it in yellow. Tight aggressive player. Folds a good amount to steal, so we can be stealing from this guy for sure. Very flop honest. Look at that. C-bet of 38 and 37%. 2.1 thousand hands. Man, this guy's flop honest, so he's a really good one to see the flop in position. As soon as he checks, you make a bet to steal it from him, Don't know anything about this guy. I'm sure at some point this seat will be filled. The first to our right, now this is good. The one loose aggressive player at the table, 33.27. He also has a 3-bet of 13%. It's good that he's on our right. You always want to act after those loose aggressive players. There's only one hand in every round where he has position on us, and that's when he's on the button. Every other hand, we get to act last after him, which is pretty darn good. So that's good to know, and we'll see what happens here. So that's the first pre-flop question. Now, or the table question, I'm sorry. A second table question, how can you exploit their pre-flop tendencies? Well, pre-flop, look how much this guy folds to 3-bet, 73% of the time. He comes in for a ton of raises, but folds a lot. That means I can take advantage of him with a lot of 3-bet bluffs and earn those 2-bet raising chips from him. He also likes to 3-bet a lot, so what I can do when he decides to 3-bet If I want, I can come in with a cold 4-bet bluff, or I can 4-bet bluff him on the smaller side for value. Hopefully he'll call because he's 3-betting so often. He might not want to be giving up those 9 or 10 big blinds, whatever his 3-bet sizing is. And for this guy over here, well, pre-flop, we can exploit him by just doing a lot of steals initially, and if he starts to fight back, we can change our pre-flop plan. This villain right here, some of his pre-flop weakness as well, he folds a heck of a lot. We are going to be stealing a ton when he's in the small blind, which means button, we're in the cutoff, or when he's in the big blind, which means small blind, and we're on the button right here. All right, so pre-flop questions, who's the best to steal from? This guy, obviously, and we're going to, because we only have one hand on each of these guys, we're going to be stealing from them a lot too, just to put them to the test, see how they respond, you know. But he'll be doing a lot of steals most likely as well because he's so loose aggressive. Who folds a lot to 3-bets? We see that this guy folds 73%, 74% as well. We can take advantage of both of these players right here. Now, the flop questions. We'll get to some of these questions as we kind of see some hands right here. So the very first hand, we're dealt ace-10 suited. Get the raise. And I do decide to just call. I often call with a hand like ace-10 suited. It has plenty of pre-flop equity. I'm ahead of most of his aces in his range, and I just don't know enough about him. My hand's not good enough to really 3-bet here to like $2.25. He calls me, and I don't know anything about him. I don't know how often he folds. I don't know what his min-raise means. Most likely, the min-raise is weak. A 3-bet would most likely steal it, but I don't see any problem at all with calling right here and playing post-flop against an unknown player. Nice, flop in the gutter plus a flush draw. Check, and he checks behind. I hope I bet right here. Good, I make the bet. Perfect. So now what I have on this Excel spreadsheet, I have a spot for mistakes. If I catch any mistakes, I'll be listing them out. That's one thing I always like to do, look for mistakes. You know, to hopefully rectify those for future situations. But I can't see any mistakes. You could argue that, yeah, I should have 3-bet the very first hand, but he's unknown. It's a suited ace. I have plenty of pre-flop equity. Might as well just make the call, see the flop, and play post-flop against him. So no mistakes in that hand. I'm down with that. 8-4 offsuit, I'm down with just folding. Look, earlier position, making a bigger raise. Ooh, and then a 3-bet right here. Let's see what happens. Nice. My guess is that's a pretty darn good size raise, just under 4x. He's going to fold most likely. And he did. Good steal from this guy. Or could have been a value raise at 4x. Might have been pocket queens or jacks right there. Actually, did he show? Sometimes they show. Nope, didn't show. So the next hand, 8-4 offsuit. We fold, of course. Not going to steal with such a crap hand, bottom 5% hand. Limp and a call. Check and a bet. Yep, standard. When checked to, this tight aggressive guy is just going to bet to take it down. And, you know, maybe he has an ace, maybe not. But you can figure that player is going to be scared of the ace because he checked. 10-3, not stealing. I'm totally fine with that. Now, we've got a little bit more information on this guy. He likes to limp. It's good to know. Loose passive player. He's completing right here. So most likely he's completing with a very weak hand. He would be raising with any like pocket 10s or greater. 9s might limp behind. But pocket 10s or greater, ace, king, ace, queen are coming in for a raise from this guy for sure. Checking it, ace high flop. The first one to bet's going to take it down. And it worked, yeah. Ace, king, I like the raise right there. Ooh, yep, loose passive player calling, good. Holy Stromboli, we flopped the second nuts. Wow, that's lovely, isn't it? Okay, so he's a very loose passive player. That's such a scary flop. There's no need to bet right now. We have a stranglehold on this hand. If we check and he checks behind, so be it. We have the turn and river that we can go for value. If we bet on the turn and he folds the turn, he was probably going to fold the flop anyway, right? So I'm totally down with that check right there. It's not a mistake at all. But now that he checked, we've got to bet. We've got to start going for some kind of value. 92 exactly half pot. I can't expect him to call with much. 92 cents, he might be able to call with an underpair like 9s or 8s because we checked the flop. We don't have an ace or a king. Quite possibly, you know, from his view, we don't have that. He could be calling with a club draw. He could be calling with some kind of a gut shot, queen 10, queen jack, jack 10 kind of a hand. And he calls. Good, good. Now the 7 comes. My guess is we have the flush. I'm sorry, we have the full house right here. We have a lock on this hand. We just pray beyond all hope that, you know, he hit a runner backdoor flush and we might be able to get lots of value out of the guy. So He called the half pot bet. We bet under half pot. So my guess is at the time I'm probably thinking I'm trying to get called by some weak under pair, some weak gut shot that just wants to look us up and see what we have. And then he raises, great. So we can put him on possibly trip kings that slow played on the flop and slow played the turn. Possibly a flush that hit on this river. Maybe even pocket sevens that backdoored into a full house. I mean, that's a possibility too. So he has hands right here. With this raise, if he had a bluff catcher, he's just calling with like pocket eights or nines. He's not going to raise. His raise means he has something good. So it's got to be a flush. Actually, trip kings are better. So we re-raise. Lovely. And then he re-raises. Wow, admin re-raise. I'm hoping that we just shove right here. He's got half of his stack in. Hopefully he's just getting it in. Oh, we min-raise over the top. Not exactly min, a little bit over, but yeah, we come over. And then he shoves. We call, of course. The only thing that we're losing to is pocket aces. And what are the chances that he called pre-flop and then slow play the flop and turn with pocket aces? It's possible, but I doubt it. And he flushed it, which is great. So, on that turn, probably not the best of calls that he made, but he called with a flush draw plus a gutter, which is great. And on the river, I mean, we got max value. It was a crazy lucky hand for us. His queen jack preflop is not a bad call, but the whole way, I like our play the whole time. We gave him rope to hang himself when he hit his flush draw right there. He probably figured that we just had trip kings or maybe just an ace, and we'd be willing to call with his flush. That might be what he thought we had, because he backed into a flush. We could have backed into a flush as well. An ace high flush. I guess he had the only flush that beats him is the ace high. Yeah, so he wasn't worried about that. The only thing he was worried about was the full house, but we didn't play it like we had a full house. So lovely hand. I like that. Going up on the fourth hand, almost to 2 buy-ins right there. Good. So fold right there, raise. And I just fold. That's often a hand that I just fold. He does raise quite a bit from the small blind. So I think... Wait for it to pop up. 60%? Man, I think that's a mistake right here. Yeah, so missed a good 3-bet bluff opportunity in the big blind versus the small blind player right there. The guy who's likely to fold for sure. So what a shame, missed that one. So that's why I record those mistakes. I can take a look at this later to kind of refresh myself on what I should be looking for, the kind of mistakes I should be trying to avoid, or the opportunities I should be trying to take advantage of in the future. Deuce 6, I'm down with a fold. Good, let's see how the hand plays out. And then a delayed donk bet, I guess, right there. Or you could say a turn float or turn probe bet is what that was. Not too bad. Way to take it down. And everyone folds to the raise. 10-3, of course, folding. Min raise right there and a call. Ace, king, 7. You better c-bet. Just rep the ace. Oh, man, you missed your chance. He's betting. Oh. Oh. Why didn't you raise? You're that worried? This guy is so loose aggressive. He made a mistake. He should have definitely raised on that river. He's only beat right now by the ace of hearts. That's it. And the guy didn't play it like he had it. He didn't bet the river like he had it, right? $220, $65, 3/4 pot. Nah, not really. Yeah, I would have raised right there for sure with that second nut flush. But that's okay. We all make mistakes. 6-3 folding. It's totally fine. Bottom 5% hand. Min raise and a call. He should have bet right there just to take it down. The guy doesn't fold off him, and that's a hard-to-hit board. Bet and then took it down. Of course, the first one to bet on such a scary board often takes it down. Nobody fights back against a loose, aggressive villain. It's a sign that, you know, he might, because no one's fighting back against his aggression, he might decide to get super spewy, and we could wake up with a really good hand and earn a lot of chips from a loose aggressive guy that is getting away with a lot of he's getting away with murder, we could say. Good. 10-6 open takes it down as a steal. Ace queen, I like it. Oh man, see, I shouldn't be doing that. Once again, this is a hand definitely worth 3-betting right here. Last time he min opened, and I don't think he had much of anything with that 50 cents min open on the button. This time it's just 55 cents. I think that this deserves a 3-bet. Although calling isn't necessarily a mistake because I'm under-repping my hand. He has every other ace. He has king, queen. He has pocket jacks and tens if I hit an ace or a queen. I mean, there's tons of stuff I could be getting value from. So it's not a mistake necessarily, but I wouldn't fault a 3-bet right here. And 90 cents, easy fold. Yeah, good. King 3, just fold. No need to fight back against him right there. 80 cents. Wow, once again, your turn probe 3/4 pot took it down twice. Twice. And that could just be a standard play of his, you know? Yep. Or that was 2/3 pot. I think the first time was 3/4, 90 into $1.20, I think it was. And a call right here. Cut off. C-bets half pot. Check calling. $2. Oh, he increases bet sizing right here. Oh, we got a raise. So I guess ace deuce, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6 could, like some kind of a pair plus a draw, raising right there. It's also a check raise, which just looks really strong. I think he's got 2 pair or better right here. It could be something as weak as 5-4, like a 5-4 suited, but maybe even an ace deuce. Oh, and we'll probably never find out. Nope, didn't show. Good little 2.5x check raise there. I would make a note on him if I was able to see what he had right there, but my guess was a set. Probably not a 2 pair. 5-4 suited could have called. It was a set or better. And then just a fold that time. 65. My guess is I'm calling right here. Plenty of implied odds to set mine. I mean, I have a humongous stack right here, just hoping for a 5, so I make the call. Totally whiff, so I'm probably just folding. Yep. And then a donk lead. 3/4 pot donk lead. And then, wow, 3/4 pot again. Double barrel. He's got queen jack, maybe a king queen. Top pair hand. Got a call. Oh, now he's shoving right here. Oh, darn, we'll never know what it was. Queen jack 2 pair or better. That was two pair. He bets 45% on the river? Yeah, he's doing a 2 pair. Maybe even ace queen or king queen. He could be doing that. Seems a bit risky. King 10 a straight as well. So he had a good hand there to be triple barreling 3/4, 3/4, and then 1.5x pot. So he liked his hand. So far what we've seen a lot of half pot bets. Now we saw some 3/4 pot bets. Bigger bets from this guy most likely mean value. Most likely. I like the raise. I like the fold. I like the fold there. Coming for the raise, queen jack. Got one caller in position. Second caller. Queen jack 2 pair. Nice. I hope I bet. Good. $1.76 for value. Good. Got a call. So he could be calling right there with plenty of flush draws, plenty of straight draws as well. Maybe even just a random queen. King, queen, queen 10 might make that call as well. So he doesn't fold that often, so he's got some kind of equity, and that 4 does help his calling range for sure. So I'm down with the check, and then he checks as well. Good. Now, there's no way I am check folding right there unless he makes some kind of a crazy big bet on that 3rd spade. I'm probably going to be check calling right there, and then basically just trying to keep the pot kind of small with my 2 pair hand. Now, I think that could be a double barrel, especially given how I want to charge any random. He could have ace, queen, king, queen, queen 10 with the other card being a spade. So we could have the ace, the king, or the 10 of spades right now. And I think it's probably a better bet or a better option to be betting here to charge all those random spades that he could have. And then we hit that full house, so hopefully, make it just a tiny value bet. Look, he folds 60% of the time on the river. So yeah, I'm betting just to get some kind of value out of the guy. If you think about it, if he all of a sudden right now hit with an ace of spade or the king of spades or the 10 of spades he's at least calling. King or the ace, I'm probably getting a raise out of him, and then I can re-raise on the smaller side to get even more value out of the guy. So let's see what, and he just folded. Okay, so he didn't have a spade. He didn't like the paired board. Maybe he just had a queen. Maybe it was king, queen, queen 10 and hoping for a better hand. Look how small that was, though. I could have gotten paid off by any random spade. Even a random queen most of the time is paying me off right there. But missed out on value. At least I attempted to go for value, though. Hey, got a walk. 7 deuce, probably just folding. Oh, increasing his bet sizing here. Full pot. He has a hand that he doesn't want to get called with. He has, you know, pocket 6s through 9s kind of a thing. Jack 10 for the open. Good. Top pair. I hope I see bet. Good. Just 80 cents right here. He so far does not like to fold. It's only 0 out of 1. And he folds. So we could see, of course, this aggressive player is raising over a limper, which we can expect. I don't know if he's paying attention to what kind of player he is, but he should expect when he limps, this guy's going to be raising because of how aggressive he is. 4 or 5, man, that's like the third time or fourth time he has failed to c-bet, even though it says c-bet 69% of the time. Maybe he c-bets his complete whiffs. Ace, good, he bet and then fold. Okay, he should have bet that one right there. 5-9, yeah, forget it. I've had one hand where I could fight back against him, just chose not to. Other than that, look at that, 3-7, I'm not going to do it. Everyone folds, fold. Min raise now. Oh, nice, and a 3-bet in the big blind. Let's see what his 3-bet is. 3-bet in the big blind is only 5.2%. He likes to 3-bet bluff from the small blind. He does it a ton from the button as well. Oh, a lot from the, holy cow, MP cutoff button. The big blind seems to be the one spot where he is value oriented. So I'm going to put him on a value hand right here. And then we get folds. Does he show? He doesn't show. What a shame. I like the call right here. I'm way ahead of a lot of his kings. He has plenty of aces in his range that are ahead of me. In King Queen offsuit, it's not a hand I generally like to 3-bet with. Although he folds a lot, I could have done it right there. I got blockers to ace kings and pocket kings. Pocket queens I have blockers, and ace queen I have blockers as well. So a 3-bet could have been in order. It's not a requisite play. If he checks, I hope I float. Oh, come on. That's a mistake right there. He's shown so much weakness when he's checking flops. Man. Missed a good flop in position float versus a non-c-betting honest player. I really think that was a mistake right there, for sure. And I let him get 2/3 pot. I let him get a really easy win an easy pot right there. Comes and I fold. We got a caller down to 3 players. I think we get back up to 6 players at some point. 60 cents, half pot. Feels like weakness right there. Fold the 7-3. Min raise and a call. Deuces. You got to bet. Good. Oh, and then raise. Well, it's either a deuce or a king. I'm going to use slow playing the flop and then raising the turn with pocket 8s or something? In 7s? I doubt it. You've got a king. He just calls, and he's going to check. Ace 5, 4-3. Oh, wow. I guess that makes sense. And he caught it on the river. Oh, no. He caught, well, yeah, he caught his full house. Caught a flush, but not good enough right there. Interesting. Raise, I'm just going to fold probably, yeah. Good. So we've got a new villain at the table. When his HUD pops up, we'll take a look, see if we know anything about him. He bought in for a full stack, so could be a reg. We just don't know yet. Oh, wait a second. He limped? Oh, he posted under the gun. So he bought in for the full stack, but unless he wants to really appear as a weak, fishy, maniac kind of player, most regs do not post under the gun. They'll just wait for the big blind right there. Because he's paying the big blind right now, and he's going to pay the big blind one more hand from now. Oh, man. Queen 6 chopping. What was that prior hand? Ace 5? I was out of position. It's not suited. Yeah. I'm fine with not limping in with that kind of hand, but I do like a raise right there, especially given as how he came in under the gun, means he's a weak player. Actually, I'm going to call that a mistake. Total mistake. So you can see in every session I play, I mean, I make mistakes all the time, and one of my goals is to learn from all my mistakes. That's why I do these these full-on one-table session reviews like this, because that is a mistake right there. Now, it wouldn't be ideal if I came in for 4 big blinds or 4.5 big blinds, like a pot-sized bet. If I come in for that and then he calls, then it's an ugly situation with an offsuit ace out of position. But if I raise right there, I do have the opportunity to c-bet on the flop, and on flops, if he completely whiffed it, he's most likely folding. So I would have put myself in a bread and butter situation had I ISO raised. 10-7 deuce, another 10, a trip 10s, nobody has a full house. Yep, that's right, queen 6. I hope I raise. Good, I do. We get a caller. Flop absolutely nothing, backdoor straight draw, and that is it right here, and one overcard, I guess. I hope I c-bet right here. 10-3-7 is not the wettest of boards, and I'm in position. I've got the ace, so I have 3 outs to an overpair. I do have the backdoor straight draw, like I said, but I'm in position on a hard-to-hit board against an unknown player. I should make the c-bet right here. Probably like 80% of the time I should be c-betting, just to put him to the test, to start building some history on the guy, because I don't know squat about him. And it worked! Hey, lovely. Coming for the raise, everyone folds, love it. I hope I 3-bet. Well, yes, I hope I 3-bet here. Good. And then he folds. So that was just a simple $1 isolation. Great spot to do it. Even if I had, you know, queen 10 suited, that's a really good spot, because his raise is such a, it's a good opportunity to bluff, I should say, this raise right here. So it's a good opportunity for me to get him to fold to my 3-bet with any kind of hand. A limper and a raiser, and I'm just calling. So I'm calling here because he seems rather passive, and most likely he's just going to call. He already put the 50 cents in, or 25. He'll put another 50 cents in happily. And this guy over here, his stats haven't popped up yet. Villain 14, don't know anything about him, but he could be passive as well. Hopefully we get a call and a call, so we have plenty of implied odds to hit our set right here. And if somebody comes in for a 3-bet, we're simply folding. Don't want to face that, but we'd love to hit a set here, so we're just set mining with plenty of implied odds. You can see to call that, I was in the small blind, right? To call 65 cents, all you need is 20x behind, so, you know, $13 behind, and we've got plenty of that with these 3 players. And then we whiff, he c-bets, it's only half pot. Now this is opportunity to check raise bluff him, but I don't take it, all right. Now that's not a mistake or anything, it's just a missed opportunity. But I would have rather done it if we go back to this hand. If I'm going to check raise bluff right here, I'm going to do it with some kind of, like, if I had a couple of diamonds, even if I had like the ace of diamonds with a random, I don't know, ace queen, so I have a backdoor flush plus a black backdoor straight plus an overcard for the ace to hit, I could check raise as a complete bluff, and if the ace, if the queen, if a diamond, if a jack, if a 10 comes off to give me some additional drawing equity on the turn, I can double barrel. But the 6 is just, it's a one and done check raise bluff, and I'm not big on those. I'd rather do check raise bluffs when the turn can give me some kind of good equity. On the turn, all I'm looking for is 2 outs just to hit a 6, you know? So down with the fold, down with the fold, everyone folds. Limpin', brand new player, unknown. So look at that, unknown, unknown. He was unknown before. And then a raise from this semi-aggressive player, loose aggressive player. Queen 7-7, $1 bet, fold, and a call. Oh, good. Now, he only has less than 2x behind. Given the fact that he bet right there on the flop, if he bets again, he's definitely committed to this pot. He's not going to be going away. $2 and a call. Yep, so he's not raising. He knows he's fully committed right now. And he just checked. Oh, maybe he wasn't fully committed. Maybe he just has a weak, maybe he just has a 7. Or even pocket 8s or 9s, some kind of an underpair to the queens. Wow! He's capable of short stack bluffing. Nice, man. Capable of short stack bluffing in position versus 2 players on queen, queen, 7, 4 board. Yep, good. All right, it's good to know that about him. I would have never suspected such a weak hand to be bluffing 2 streets, increasing the sizing on the turn. And then you just calling right there. Yeah, loose passive. He's not going to be giving up second pair on a hard to hit board. Fold, min raise. Oh, a 3-bet from this loose passive player. And then a fold, of course. That's a really good hand. I'm down with just checking right there. Flopping absolutely nothing. Just planning on check. Oh, now that I hit a pair, I might be doing some check calling. It's possible he could have slow played an ace, but if he has an ace on that board in position versus for other people, wouldn't he want to bet to get some kind of value out of some kind of a gut shot, out of a flush draw, just to, you know, quote unquote, protect his hand? You figure he would at least, but not every player does that. And a $1.10 right there. I'm down with the call. Oh, ace-6. So yeah, he didn't. I guess he didn't like his kicker right there and just wanted to keep the pot small. Now that he hit 2-pair, he bet that river. I bet if he didn't hit a 6, he probably would have just checked behind with, you know, ace-5, ace-4, that kind of stuff right there. I don't think that was a bad call at all. I guess you could say he slow played and tricked me by checking behind with that ace. He got some additional turn and river value from me. Yeah, but I can't say that's a mistake necessarily. Pocket nines, I love it. Calling right there. Now, that is a potential 3-bet hand because he folds so much. If I 3-bet, and then if he does call, you know, I could, of course, hit a set. But on an ace or a king high flop, too, I could rep that with a C-bet on the flop. He folds 61% of the time. So calling is not a bad play, but it doesn't put me in bread and butter. 3-betting would have put me in a bread and butter situation. So I prefer a 3-bet, but calling's not a bad play, for sure. It's not a mistake to call there. Flop in the gutter. 225. Oh, a 3/4 pot bet. Now, as we've seen, his larger bets appear to be for value. So I could raise as just a complete, well, not complete bluff, a semi-bluff. If I hit an 8, I'd be really happy with a straight. But most likely, that spells a lot of strength. He raised pre-flop. He does have aces, kings, queens in his range. He has pocket 10s for a set as well. So I'm behind quite a bit of it. I imagine I fold. And I do. Everyone folds. Okay. Makes sense. Does he show? Doesn't show. 5-9, just folding. So you can see we do have quite a few passive players, often aggressive, but not raising over limpers. Passive and another passive one right here. Now this video has already taken 32 minutes, and you know I think we still have a few hands to go at least. Normally when I do these kinds of session reviews, it's a lot quicker because I'm not really speaking through everything. I'm just paying attention to the action, catching mistakes, trying to figure out what opponents have and that kind of thing. If you've never done a session review like this, initially it will take a long time because because you're getting used to it, you know. But I really recommend that you do this kind of stuff occasionally. Eventually, like this was a 45 hand session. This would normally take me 15 to 20 minutes to get through one table session. And in one study session, I'll normally go through like 100 hands total. So it might be one 90 hand table session or two 45s or one 110 session, 110 hand session, whatever it is. Normally about 100 hands per hour is what I get through when I'm doing these reviews. That's by myself, of course, not speaking to an audience. Queen and 3 and a jack and a 5. All right. Oh, holy cow, that was the last hand? I didn't realize. Wow, that was the last hand. What a coincidence. Okay, so, well, that ended up being the session right there. Like I said, let's go back to PokerTracker 4. That was 45 hands. I made $19 in that session, up 173 big blinds per 100 hands. You can see altogether, though, since March 1st, I'm only up 2. You have occasional really awesome bang-in sessions like this, and some, if we just go big blind, if we just sort it by that, you can see down here we've got some ugly negative stuff. And of course, as we go further, when you lose even more money, $8 over 129 hands, $27 right here. I'm sorry, negative 27 big blinds per 100 hands, I mean to say. Well, thank you very much for watching this video. What I highly recommend is in your next study session, whether it's PokerTracker 4 or Hold'em Manager, go through, sort it by table session, and find some sessions that look pretty promising. You know, there's some sessions here. What is it? Let's sort it by money 1. What's my most break-even session? Oh, I haven't. Oh, break even over 20. So I could take a look at this session and see how did I exactly break even over 29 hands? What happened? You know, how did I lose only, oh, that's only 8 hands. We don't want to look at those. See, sometimes you start a table, get on it, 5 hands, the table breaks. You don't feel like playing, whatever the case is. But look, some of these break even. I played 33 hands, basically break even play. What happened to make me break even over this session? Was I getting a ton of no cards at all? Oh, look at that. 33 hands. I'm a 6-6 VPIP and PFR. So I was getting dealt just crap. Look at all this 6 deuce, 8-6 suited, queen 4, queen 5. Now, some of these hands might be worth coming in for an open raise, but I might have been at a table. Oh, pocket tens. I might have been at a table where my opponents, maybe they were doing a lot of raising, so it wasn't getting folded around to me. So you can also take a look at table sessions by this. Let's look at VPIP right here. What's my VPIPinist table? Well, we don't want 100 hands. Let's see, 44, 55%. Wow, this might have been just a heads up table. I might have been playing, yeah, one other player. Okay. We can do this real quick. 3+ players, do I have that? Yep, 3+ players dealt in. So if we look at table sessions with 3+ players, where's my highest VPIPins? Over a good sample. That's only 16 hands, 18, 13. I'm looking at the hands over here. 21 hands, that's really not that many. Okay, 52 hands, 31% VPIP. Cool. So you could take a look how over 50 hands, it's 6 max, so it's basically, 8 rounds. How did I VPIP 31% of the time? I must have been getting dealt some good hands, some good stuff worth calling, good stuff worth raising. Maybe everyone was folding ahead of me. Maybe the blinds were foldy. Whatever it was, there's a good reason for me to get so active on this kind of table right here, because 31% isn't my standard. 59 hands, 31% again. Oh, only 10%. Look how big that gap is. I was doing a ton of calling on this. Lots of checking pre-flop in the big blind, of course. Raising, then folding, some raises. But it looks like I got a ton of calls pre-flop. Deuces, 7, 5, 9, 7, king, jack. All hands that kind of make sense for calling. This one doesn't make sense. This one doesn't either. But who knows? It might have been a good reason for it. I'd have to go through and review the hands. So when you look at your table sessions, I got off on a tangent there. When you look at a table session, you can look at so many different things and figure out why was this way? Why was I so frickin' nitty down here? 77 hands, I played a 6-3. What's going on there? Oh man, so there's so many ways to look at your hands or look at the tables through this table session. So good luck in your next study session. Figure out what kind of mistakes you're making so that you can right the ship and stop making these in your future sessions.